Hello everybody, and happy Valentine's Day! I wore my pink shirt just for the moment, and to celebrate it, Valentine's Day's fun. You get chocolate, or you get to give chocolate, or those sweet little cards that are like Marvel ones, or DC ones, or random anime characters, where it'll be like Naruto coming in, and he'll be like, hey, have a Shippuden Valentine's Day, y'all. And you're just like, that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense, Valentine's Day card. I decided to do something special this time around. Rather than doing my monster mashups, which I usually do, this time I thought it would be fun to draw kind of like a little something special that's related to my manga Blithe. I'm always advertising it. Ooh, over here. I'm always talking about it. I've spent about the past almost 9 years working on it. I come out with a new chapter every single year, so I wanted to commemorate something involving that. I mean, I'm on chapter 8 this year, and I'm just excited, so let's make a special Blithe Valentine's Day card, so to speak, thingy. I decided to use Roselle and Merkava. These are two students from my manga Blithe, and they're going to college. The college's name is Nexus Voraba, and let's get to it. As usual, I did my base sketches. I'm just going to talk a little bit about my process and all that, because this is going to be very unique, this sketch today. It's much more than just one sketch. I got my character designs on the left of me. I always do this. Whenever I'm doing any kind of characters, even for my manga, which I've drawn a million times over, I always have character designs in front of me, whether it's on a secondary screen or even if I have to use my phone, I need them. Why? Because I put a lot of details in my characters and I want consistency. Same thing talking about consistency, I've got my color compositions under here. You can see that I've got like different swatches, each one is for a different character, and then I have like a whole bunch of colors, and those are colors that I don't go outside of when making my manga. It's very rare I'll go outside of these colors if I want to tell something or do something very special that sticks out like a sore thumb. So this way, all my mangas throughout the years are always going to have the same kind of colors, the same kind of designs. It's very important to keep that consistency, especially for a project that's going to take me 15 years from start to finish. Like I said, I'm currently working on my 8th chapter, so that means it's about 8 to 9 years that I've been doing this. And I love all my characters in my manga. So speaking about these students here, this is Roselle and Merkava. Roselle is a character, a creature called a Verilic. It's a whole species. They kind of look like angels, but those little halos over their heads are actually hard drives. And that little floating thing that you can see next to her is called an AGU, and all of my characters can float, but not all of them can control the direction in which they want to go in, and that AGU allows them to do it. You gotta think of Verilics kind of like supercomputers. Afterwards, we've got Merkava. Merkava is a Macopian, and Macopians come in all shapes and different sizes. There's different types of subspecies due to high mutation rate within that culture. They all have marks on their face too. His are like these two little lines that go here. So just to talk about my sketch a bit, I did a sketch layout for all 3 of these panels that I'm doing here. I didn't just go like right out of my head. I sketched on a piece of paper really quickly to give myself an idea about what I was doing before doing it, so I don't waste any time and so that my story structure makes sense. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I just go off my head and I just do it. That's okay. It's just that if you write story structures, I guarantee you with time you're going to get better and better at telling your stories, because just, like free balling it is not always the most efficient, especially long term. I did my little rough sketches, now I'm doing my nicer sketch on top of it. I tried to keep everything sketchy. Every now and then I kind of forget and I'm like, oh, I want to do nice line art. But as this took me much more than the hour I usually allot to this sort of thing, I spent about, I'd say a good 3.5 hours doing this, maybe more like 4 hours, which is pretty intense. Especially since I was going as fast as I could, trying to make it as sketchy as possible. But this is different, rather than just doing like one sketch, I've got 3 of them with 2 characters per panel, and also I filled in flat colors. I didn't do tons of shading or anything like that. I tried to make everything as simple as possible, like I said. So all my flat colors are also on the same layer. I just really went for speed here to be able to tell my story. As you can see, I just flat colored one thing, locked the layers, and that way if I color outside the lines, it will go outside the lines, so it made things slightly easier for me when filling in the rest of these colors. These two in my comic are a really cute kind of couple, and so that's why, I mean, it's really random. My whole manga of Blithe is all about the first day of college for these students. Like from the first issue to the last one, it's all just one day. Technically two, because the night before, but let's say it's like a 24-hour span. So I really, to have two characters hook up all of a sudden, it's really random, but it's pretty cute, and I really worked on them to make it like, well, let's just immediately make some random impulsive creatures power couple through. I thought that'd be really funny. And so, you know, it was really fun drawing something like this, and unique, and like I said, very different, because, you know, making a video too for this was not easy. I couldn't just take breaks whenever I wanted to. After that 4 hours, I had to go to the bathroom so badly, and I'm like, oh gosh, maybe I should like stand up and take a break for a couple of minutes. I'm like, no, get it done, Eric. I think these characters work really well for a Valentine's Day special. I have a couple other characters that are interested in other characters, and you know how school is, right? Especially the first day you show up and you're looking at people and everything's mostly physical, and then eventually maybe you talk to some of them and you're like, ooh, or you're like, oh, or I have to become friends with this person. How could I not have this person in my life as a sweet friend? You know, like I've had a lot of first days of school in my life too. I mean, moving around quite often when I was younger kind of did that. So a lot of different things, and it's all kind of put into this manga. And as you can see here, I'm working my text. So text is another thing that I write it in a separate thing, and then afterwards, like, I check it out, peer at it, read it a couple of times before finishing my entire manga and installing everything. Usually text and bubbles are all done through a program called Illustrator. I don't like using Photoshop, but for sakes like that and this purpose of this video, I decided to like do everything with Photoshop. It's just more efficient. Anyway, that marks the end for this Valentine's Day special. For those of you that have someone special, congratulations, have fun today. And those of you that don't, well, you know what? Life's not all about relationships. I know I did a whole relationship thing here, but it's just another day. So you might as well just take it, have tons of fun anyway, and, you know, have fun with yourself. You're super awesome, and you deserve to have a great day as well. Don't leave it to all those stupid couples. By the way, I also love couples. So, just saying, I love everyone. I love everything. I love it all. Happy Valentine's Day.